Then there was another time where this guy was drinking out of a glass. It was out in the backyard, and a big chunk of glass just blew off the side of the glass while he was. It didn't crack the glass. It just a piece of glass shot outside of it.
Do you guys watch Ghost Hunters?
Oh, yeah.
They did.
I love it.
They have one episode for Stanley Hotel where Jason was in, and this is the best reference I can come up to. Jason was in doing the night thing in his own,
Yeah.
and that piece of glass
Yeah.
popped out of that glass.
Yeah, just popped out of the glass.
Yeah, it did the same thing. I've never seen it before. At first I thought it was kept some kind of stress in the glass, but it was a warm night out, so, and there was no cracks in it. So I don't know.
And ironically, those while they were talking, their thoughts about Doc Holliday.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, we got one more room.
Pretty. Just want to walk very carefully.
So this was all here also, the woodwork?
Actually, I built that. The walls and stuff are restored, and I built that. Yeah. Well, that's pretty expensive.
You guys see what your wallpaper looks like on UV?
You can really see it.
Oh, wow, yeah, you can
Isn't that
really
kind of crazy?
There's more turn
It's
on
full
rollers.
spectrum camera.
You can really see the more negative.
I never really noticed this bottom part.
Mm-hmm. You can really see the detail of what it looked like.
Yeah,
See that?
yeah. Huh,
Different, huh?
yeah. Yeah, that's great, man. Full spectrum.
Full spectrum.
One thing interesting we caught in here while we were doing some recording, sitting at that table, and we heard a blood-curdling scream. It sounded like it was from a distance. It sounded just like somebody going, ah, like you're getting your toe chopped off. There's no way I can describe it. You get a strange recording here on that. This place has it all. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff here. Hopefully soon we can come back here and do the night and see what more I can kind of give you guys to talk about.
Now, who actually lived here? You said the first Border Patrol guy.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you about Jeff Milton. He was born in 1861, and his dad was governor of Florida. In the 1870s, he moved to Texas and joined the Texas Rangers. And then he was in law enforcement all over New Mexico, and he became chief of police in El Paso in the 1890s. Cleaned up El Paso. They actually hired him because he was such a tough guy. They had so much trouble in El Paso, they hired him to clean up, and he cleaned up in about a year. Faced down John Wesley Hardin and all that, you know. And then came out to Arizona, and he was in a big shootout at Fairbanks, the ghost town down the hill. And he got 5 outlaws against him, and lost the use of his left arm. He got shot so bad. So the Teddy Roosevelt administration, recognizing what a great officer he was, they created a job for him riding the border on horseback from here to California. He did that for years, trying to catch smugglers and bandits and all that. And bandits they caught said that no one had eyes in the back of his head. But anyway, when the Border Patrol was formed later, they made him the honorary first Border Patrolman. So if you look him up on the internet, that's what you get. First U.S. Border Patrolman, Jeff Milton. And he moved here in 1932. Retired at 70 years old.
Oh, so he didn't build this house?
No. No, he came here. He retired here at 70, lived here about 10 years. When he was living here, they wrote his biography, and this house has been in Truist magazine.
I don't like it said that.
But who are, when you say you're hearing these voices, you don't know who they are?
I don't know. Well, actually, I didn't talk about one I want to mention to you guys. We caught up front here. There's so much to go over. You were doing some recordings in here. I got one of the best DVPs that I've collected in a long time. It was actually right when we were doing setup. We set up our cameras, and then we all leave and we do a controlled environment. In other words, nobody's allowed in the building, so that way we don't destroy any of the information we're trying to get. And while we were doing that, we heard over one of the main recorders up front. It was like 2 investigators were talking. You had my wife and somebody else, and they're just chatting away about something they're going to do. And over the recorder, you hear very loud, "Big deal," but it sounds like "big deal," like that, very loud and pronounced, and it was just strange. It was kind of like it was mocking us in a way. But like I said, we was only a few hours. We got some awesome stuff. I can't wait to get more and see what we can clarify on some names maybe, or get some little bit more info for them. But this house, really, if you look in history, a lot of famous people saw this as one of the staples for Tombstone. Jeff Milton was like a hero.
Yeah, he was a big deal. Really big
He
deal.
was. And whenever they did newspapers, Wyatt Earp got such a reputation. Everybody that lived here liked Jeff Milton. that did so much in their lives had a huge resentment because they were like, hey, what about me? I've done this, 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 and this. So yeah, they were a little cocky on it, but still, they had that right. Actually,
he had a ship named after him, a U.S. ship, in the 30s. And then he was named the first colonel of militia of Arizona by the governor in the 30s. You know, he got a lot of stuff in the 30s when he was retired.
I've seen people that were famous back in the 1880s, to historians. They come back when they did the first El Dorado, and they all got up in front of the Jeff Milton house here and took a picture, because that's how well known Jeff Milton was. Whenever they went uptown to do some kind of publicity shot, I have a picture of him standing in front of the Birdcage Theater. You know, he was just a well-known character, and now
he was a big deal. He
he's
was
faded away.
dead on shot too. He's one of those guys that, you know, I don't know how many people killed. At least I know at least 5 people in different lives. So he didn't talk about it.
All right, guys, let's work our way back up to that.
Thanks. Okay.
Couple of things. This place, he doesn't get any money for doing this. He lets us come in, lets us explore the old home, which I think is awesome. And he works this place on donation. So if you like the place, the only way I can keep it in the door is by dropping off a couple dollars, say thank you, and I hope you get some good pictures. I'm gonna make him trim these trees. We'll make it. That duty. Need to tell him to trim these trees.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for opening your house. Thank you.
Thank you.
Come on.
Jeff Milton House.